Cox Enterprises is comprised of three major businesses. Cox Communications, which is an internet and broadband organization. Cox Automotive, which is focused on automobile industry, specifically with Kelley Blue Book, Autotrader.com, and Mannheim Auctions. And then finally, Cox Media Group, which is focused on providing television, radio, and newspaper businesses. The drive to more transparency was really this fundamental shift that we were trying to make at corporate to be able to allocate costs back to the business so they could be a part of the decision-making. Investment conversations were just drawing up more and more work for IT, but never did the business see the IT OpEx tail that came from all of that demand. I think the overall impact of bringing Apteo into Cox is really about changing the way that IT works. It's really leading the transformation of running IT as a business. We start with taking in the demand for projects, new applications, new functionality and capabilities, but also end that with looking at operational impacts. In order to make an investment, they understand the impact to the ongoing operational costs that are going to have to be sustained by IT to keep that application running. And it really focuses the business on what they need to have versus things they might want to have.
I think one of the secret sauces in Apteo is the underlying ATOM framework that allows us to put all of the costs into consistent categories.
There's Cox Enterprises in 3 divisions, but we have 4 different Apteo models across the company. ATOM allows the 4 divisions and the 4 Apteo models to work together because we speak the same language and we can easily roll the 4 together. We don't have a lot of reconciliation between the 4 because the reconciliation has already been done by ATOM. And if we all follow ATOM, then it will seamlessly flow together.
So our strategy is to change the way the world buys, sells, and owns vehicles. The industry is changing at a tremendous pace, and we're meeting those demands through acquisition, through really creative engineering solutions.
Mannheim was not on Apteo, so we took their entire cost model and brought it into the common framework and boarded literally hundreds of millions of dollars of cost in 72 hours. It was fantastic.
And really the team with Apteo was able to get a consolidated view of the spend and look for the comparisons of opportunities to better leverage our expense. So it was a huge win. We're heavily leveraging Azure and AWS as we grow. And that really shifts our costs in our captive data centers and our investments in network. So having transparency in how that shifting is really important.
60% of our back office has moved in the last 36 months into cloud. We've wired ourselves not only into our private clouds, we've wired into the public clouds, and we have complete transparency across the board. What Apteo provides me is a very centralized way to compare and contrast, no different than I would across divisions on how it's costing me on storage or how it's costing me on server, what it's costing me on servers or storage. I can now compare that to AWS or to Azure.
If we had not embraced the methodology of TBM as well as the tool of Apteo, we would not have really gotten off the ground of transforming IT as a business.
The impact of TBM, Apteo, overall on Cox Automotive, it's a pretty big deal for us. It is organization, it's a way of life for us.
And I actually think people make a mistake in creating too granular business cases for sort of core capabilities for their organization. What is the business case for running technology well? What is the business case for providing transparency and making better decisions? To make that business case, you would have to admit that you don't do it very well today. And you're not going to find very many guys in my position who are going to admit that. Truth is, we struggle with it. We have imperfect data. Investing in the ability to work more closely and transparently with your finance organization, to quote a commercial, is priceless. I can put a number on it because I have to manage my budget well, and if I don't, somebody else probably will be able to.